Harvey Weinstein, what a mess. And they just repealed the conviction against him in his New York City rape trial. And just disclosure, I will be talking about sex abuse and rape. Those are big words. And so if this is a trigger for you, don't watch the video, okay? My name is Lydia, and this is the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese Astrology channel. I have thought of doing Harvey Weinstein's chart for some time. But honestly, it's like I feel like taking a shower, just looking into this man's life. I find him physically repulsive. And you know me, I'm not one to cast shade on people or be judgmental. Certainly not on the channel, because it's important to stay objective. And so that's what I do. Sometimes when I pull the chart up, I have to disconnect from the person that I think I know, right, from the media, and just look at the chart. Just look at the chart for the mechanics of what it is. This is Bazi Chinese Astrology, also called 4 Pillars. It's based on the 5 elements. If this is something that you're interested in, please subscribe, like, and follow. If you're interested in knowing your own Bazi Astrology and what's happening for you in 2024, what the heck's going on? Why is my life the way it is? I'll put in the comments or the description where you can order your own chart. All right. This man was born March 19th, 1952 at 21:45 in the evening. Here we go. His 4 pillars. His year is Yang Water Dragon. Month, Yin Water Rabbit. Day, Yang Wood Rat. Hour, Yin Wood Pig. Now, here's his chart with all of my lovely notes. Okay. So you can tell that this chart is unusual, and that's not surprising. Okay. This chart has no fire. It has no metal, and it hardly has any earth. In fact, what earth is there, the dragon, is wet, damp earth. 41%, give or take, water, what nourishes him. Wood, his own element, yang wood, over 55%. His entire chart is what supports him and himself. And I have talked before about people who have these excessive day masters, and what that does, it can really make a person so completely egocentric. And again, this is not to judge based on who the person is, but there are people like Donald Trump's chart that comes to mind. And there are many celebrities that I have read who have inflated self-elements. It is all about them. Kanye West, Kim Kardashian. I could go on. And again, it's not that I'm saying that these people are, you know, that this is a... Anyway, I don't want you to think that I'm being critical of the person, their character. What I'm commenting on is their chart. And in a person's chart, somebody with all that strength in themselves can do something with it. For instance, they can be great at rallying a crowd, right? And being very famous. It doesn't necessarily lead to the shadow side, is what I'm saying. This guy parlays between the light and the dark, and really has the shadow side of his personality like a grand master. Now, as a yang wood person, let's just stop for a moment here and identify the qualities of a yang wood person. They're very self-confident, bold, straightforward. They have a strong sense of self, and they're very tough. And I have a friend who's a yang wood person, and she's born on the day of a rat, just like he is. And I find her abrasive. When she has, like, you know, when you are with a friend and you open up to them and share something that makes you feel vulnerable or sensitive, maybe you're getting teary in your eyes sharing, she's that friend that goes, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, like, you should do this, this, and this. Or, oh, that's because blah, 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 blah. And it's so abrupt and so abrasive that I feel smacked. It's just, it's not soft. It's not gentle. You know, if I'm going to give a friend advice, I try to do it gently, kindly. And then I sometimes have to check myself and say, do they even want what I have to say anyway? Maybe I should just be quiet and listen. Anyway. All right. I don't know why I have such a hard time with this chart. I literally feel my heart chakra and my chest constricted. So I am like literally reminding myself to breathe. This man did so much horrific damage in our world. And yeah, he and his brother made great movies. The Weinstein brothers, they did amazing movies. They were the top of the game. They had huge success. This guy's got a Lupin pattern chart. Doubled. I mean, he is, because his life pillar is a rabbit. So the month is really giving you your pattern. And he's born in the month of the rabbit, and the rabbit is wood. He is bolstered everywhere. All right. Let's break down his personality here. Rats, because I want to show you the shadow sides. Rats can be, and we've seen this with this person, charming, innovative, ambitious, smart, shadow, calculating, egotistical, critical, neurotic, secretive, excessive, and boldly intolerable. The dragon. These people are visionaries. They're passionate and magnetic. They attract attention. And the shadow side is abrupt. Again, we have egocentric, excessive, and overpowering. This guy was like Hollywood mafia. You know, when you have that kind of power, huge power, power to start someone's career and power to kill it. Power to overwhelm a woman who thinks that she's coming to promote her career and advance her career. I don't know about you. As a woman, I feel like I have a target on my back whenever I go out in the world. As a woman, I feel vulnerable. And in some ways, I think that's one of the reasons it made me kind of tough and very mindful of my surroundings, where I am, and who I'm with my whole life. Now, I grew up in inner city Baltimore. Maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I was left alone a lot as a kid and had to kind of fend for myself. But I can tell you, if somebody asked me to come up to a hotel room, I'd say, hell no. And I'm the kind of person that would say it like that. Hell no. I'm not coming up to your hotel room, sir. But if you want to have a drink at the bar, I'll have a drink at the bar. But if you ask me to come up to your hotel room, that ain't happening. And some of us are maybe a little more self-protective or self-aware. I don't know the situation that God, like what led these women to go up there with him. And that's not to say that they walked into it and in any way. No woman deserves that. Ever. Or a man. And to be violated, physically violated, that's a real wrong. And this overturning of this sentence in New York is a setback. It's a setback for the Me Too movement. These poor women are going to have to, if they're able to appeal this, have to re-traumatize themselves again, speaking their truth. And it's like some of the other trials and tribulations going on in our world. There's a part of me that's like, how is it 2024 and we haven't evolved enough as human beings to recognize right from wrong, good from evil. And that all that is ever asked of us, ever in this lifetime, is to be kind. It's so freaking easy. Power, money and fame can destroy a person's character, bring out that shadow side. I did not want to look at this man's history, but I did glance at some of it. And really what I wanted to focus on is his character traits, to reveal to you these shadow sides, and to then say, if you look at his chart and the interactions, the rabbit and the dragon together harm the little bit of earth that he has. His pig and his rabbit make a semi-wood trio. The pig and his rat make a semi-water trio. And there's also a seasonal trio of the rat and the dragon making another water trio. It is all water and wood for this guy. And you might have noticed, this is where I think it gets twisted. His rat day and month of the rabbit forms that punishment that we talked about a whole bunch last year, the year of the rabbit. Rat, rabbit, penalty or punishment, when it is in your chart, really speaks of someone with a propensity to twisted relationships, right? And I've talked about this before with other charts. If it happens like in a year, all right, let's say you have a rat or a rabbit in your chart, and it can even be your luck cycle that you're in. And along comes a year that creates this punishment or penalty. This is a time of caution. I wouldn't get involved in romantic relationships or partnerships of any kind. I wouldn't get involved in a new job or project because the likelihood of somebody sabotaging it, somebody taking you down, is so high. If it is a luck cycle that is forming the punishment, then it's 10 years of that. Getting involved in relationships of all kind that turn bad against you, in which you lose fame, reputation, money. And some people have this in their chart, which means they have, throughout their lives, the likelihood of being involved in relationships that become twisted. This is sitting right on him, being a person that is a rat. Now, it's interesting. If we go further, I also wanted to just quickly sidetrack over to his health, walking with the walker. I'm sorry, when I saw that at the trial, I was like, ugh. It's just like he's trying to pull sympathy card. And that's like, how obvious could that be, right? Eye issues, that's the wood element. Diabetes, wood element. Heart issues, fire element. This is what happens with our health. When you have an extreme imbalance of elements, as he does, so much water. This is probably a Joubert chart where the relationship of the mother is overwhelming to the point where it's like too much of a good thing. It overwhelms you. And so that overwhelm impacting the wood is like those organs of the body. There's too much pressure upon them, which is interesting, thinking of the eyes and having pressure on them, right? Things don't function well. The whole body is off kilter. The fact that he has, a horrific temper, that's wood too. That's the mood. That's your mood. That's your nervous system. Overjacked, man. And then the heart, there's no fire. So the heart is very weak. This is not somebody that's going to live a long life. You can take one look at him and tell that he's not a well person at all. 2017 is when all this shit hit the fan too. That was a yin fire rooster. Now, this was interesting because I remember, this just came to me, that year, 2017, I said, cock-a-doodle-doo, this is the year we're going to hear everybody speak their truth. Pfft. Really, that's what I said at the beginning of 2017, year of the rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo. Time to wake up. That's what roosters do, they wake you up. And the Me Too movement was born. Can't make this up. It made perfect sense. This was a changeable year for him. That fire and metal, well, the metal is fighting with his rabbit in a battle, a feudal battle of wood and metal. So, of course, the metal loses here. The fire kind of still lingers, but this was a radical changing year for him and really highlighted his career. And because it was banging up against his rabbit, this is breaking his career, breaking open his career. Aha. Then 2020, that is when the rape conviction happened. That's interesting. 2020 was a yang metal rat. Yang metal rat, this is fascinating, was like a complete standstill, breaking of his career, and lots of authority figures coming down upon him, and that yin water is bringing the law is coming down on him. Yeah. Interesting that 2021 brought a semi-water trio, or actually, sorry, a full water trio. Full water trio. That ox with his rat and pig. Full water trio. And then 2022, the California rape conviction, that brought the year of the tiger, brought a full wood trio. And in both of those situations, the chart changes to becoming, instead of a fake chart, a fake follow chart, it is a dominant, like the dominance becomes actualized. And this, it just feels like the whole thing is so inflated. When we look at this particular year of Yang Wood, is speaking directly to him, his sovereignty, his power. The dragon hits his own dragon and shows movement. When it's in your year, dragon to dragon year like this, it's movement, and it can be literal movement. Let's move him from one jail to another jail, another courtroom to another courtroom. It's showing movement of money and health issues. And remembering that the dragon is harmed by his rabbits and weakens Earth. Health issues, loss of money. There's like an instability with money in general, and legal issues. So all of this to say, this is a real changeable time for him. And his current luck cycle, interesting to note, and I have seen this before, it's so interesting. Big events often happen when you go through a luck cycle change. For instance, 2017, when this first conviction happened, he entered a new luck cycle of a yang metal dog. The dog is the enemy of that dragon self in his year. And that hits up against the water. And it bumps up the earth. And then there's the yang metal. This entire period of his life, which may be the last, we don't know, is again this oppressive force of authority coming down on him. There is a risk to his welfare with this, and instability with his health, finances, and tucked into that is a lot of stuff changing. There's a lot of change and flux, and also looking at family and responsibilities. The thing of the dog hitting the dragon feels like a lot of things breaking open. And anyway, that was it. The whole thing is just creepy. I literally want to go take a shower. Wash my hands at least. Thank you so much for watching, friends. And until next time, be well.